Have you ever wondered if your morning coffee is actually making you more productive, or if it's just masking deeper issues with your energy and focus? I decided to find out by completely eliminating coffee for 7 days. What happened next completely transformed my understanding of productivity, energy, and mental clarity. Before we dive in, here's something shocking. 90% of adults consume caffeine daily, but most have no idea how it's actually affecting their brain chemistry. The average person consumes 200 milligrams of caffeine per day. That's enough to significantly alter your brain's natural functioning. But what happens when you suddenly stop? Let's find out. Day 1. The challenge begins. The first morning without coffee felt like waking up in someone else's body. My kitchen seemed eerily quiet without the familiar gurgle of the coffee maker. Instead of my usual morning brew, I opted for warm water with lemon. Within hours, the withdrawal symptoms began. By mid-morning, a dull headache crept in. This wasn't just any headache. It felt like a tight band squeezing my temples. Science explains this. Caffeine constricts blood vessels in your brain, and when you stop consuming it, these vessels dilate, causing increased blood flow and pressure. The result? A withdrawal headache that makes you question all your life choices. My productivity took a massive hit. Tasks that usually took an hour stretched into 2. My focus wandered constantly, and the simplest decisions felt overwhelming. The science behind this is fascinating. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors in your brain, preventing you from feeling tired. Without this blockade, my brain was finally processing all the adenosine that had been building up. Day 2. The struggle intensifies. The second day was even harder. The headache intensified, and a new symptom emerged. Intense fatigue that seemed to seep into my bones. This is when I learned something crucial about caffeine. It doesn't actually give you energy. Instead, it masks your natural tiredness by blocking those adenosine receptors. My mood swung between irritability and lethargy. Simple tasks felt monumental. During a morning meeting, I caught myself zoning out repeatedly. The most challenging part? The afternoon slump hit like a truck, and I had no caffeine to pull me out of it. But here's where it gets interesting. By late afternoon, I noticed my first positive change. Without the artificial energy from coffee, I started tuning into my body's natural rhythms. I discovered I had natural energy peaks and valleys throughout the day, something I'd been masking with coffee for years. Day 3. The turning point. Day 3 brought an unexpected breakthrough. While the headaches persisted, they were less intense. More importantly, my sleep quality improved dramatically. Without caffeine in my system, I fell asleep faster and stayed asleep longer. Research shows that caffeine has a half-life of about 5 hours, meaning even morning coffee can affect your sleep quality. I also noticed something fascinating about my stress levels. Without the constant stimulation from caffeine, my baseline anxiety decreased. This makes sense scientifically. Caffeine triggers your body's fight-or-flight response, releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Day 4. Discovering natural energy. By day 4, something remarkable happened. My energy levels began to stabilize. Instead of the dramatic peaks and crashes I experienced with coffee, I maintained a more consistent, albeit lower energy level throughout the day. This revealed a crucial truth. Coffee wasn't actually giving me energy. It was just borrowing it from my future self. My productivity started improving, but in a different way than before. Rather than intense bursts of focused work followed by crashes, I maintained steady productivity throughout the day. This led to an important realization. Sustainable productivity isn't about maximizing every moment. It's about finding a natural, consistent rhythm. Day 5, the new normal. Day 5 marked a significant shift. The withdrawal symptoms had largely subsided, and I experienced something I hadn't felt in years: natural, sustainable energy. My mind felt clearer, and my ability to focus actually improved. Without the constant stimulation from caffeine, my brain's natural focus mechanisms began to recover. I also noticed improvements in my digestion and hydration levels. Coffee is a diuretic, and without it, my body maintained better hydration throughout the day. This led to improved skin complexion and fewer headaches unrelated to withdrawal. Day 6. Unexpected benefits. By day 6, the benefits became undeniable. My sleep quality had improved so dramatically that I was naturally waking up before my alarm. My anxiety levels dropped significantly, and I found myself handling stressful situations with more clarity and calm. The most surprising benefit, my creativity increased. Without the jittery energy from coffee, my mind felt more able to wander productively, making unexpected connections and generating new ideas. This aligns with research showing that some forms of creativity benefit from a more relaxed, less stimulated mental state. Day 7. The final assessment. The last day of my experiment arrived and the results were clear. While the first few days were challenging, the benefits far outweighed the temporary discomfort. Here's what changed. Sleep quality. Fall asleep time reduced from 45 minutes to 15 minutes. Sleep duration increased by 1.5 hours. Morning grogginess significantly reduced productivity. More consistent energy throughout the day, better sustained focus, improved decision-making ability, physical changes, better hydration, improved digestion, reduced muscle tension, better skin complexion, mental changes, decreased anxiety, improved mood stability, enhanced creativity, better emotional regulation. The science behind the changes. Understanding what happens in your brain when you quit coffee helps explain these results. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors, which normally signal tiredness. When you regularly consume caffeine, your brain creates more adenosine receptors to compensate. This is why you need more coffee over time to get the same effect. When you stop consuming caffeine, your brain has an excess of adenosine receptors, but no caffeine to block them. This causes the initial withdrawal symptoms. However, once your brain readjusts, you experience more natural energy regulation. Long-term implications. This experiment revealed something crucial about productivity and energy management. While coffee can provide a quick boost, it often masks underlying issues with sleep, stress, and natural energy regulation. By removing coffee, you allow your body to return to its natural rhythms. Practical tips for quitting coffee. 1. Gradual reduction. Week 1, cut intake by 25%. Week 2, cut by 50%. Week 3, cut by 75%.
Week 4, eliminate completely. 2. Natural alternatives.
Green tea, lower caffeine content, herbal teas, water with lemon, exercise for natural energy. 3. Lifestyle adjustments. Consistent sleep schedule, morning light exposure, regular exercise, proper hydration. 4. Managing withdrawal. Start on a weekend, stay hydrated, get extra rest, use natural pain relief for headaches. Moving forward, will I never drink coffee again? Probably not. But this experiment changed my relationship with caffeine fundamentally. Instead of being a daily necessity, coffee can now be an occasional tool when I truly need it. The most valuable insight wasn't about coffee at all. It was about understanding my body's natural rhythms and energy patterns. By removing the artificial stimulation of caffeine, I discovered a more sustainable way to maintain energy and productivity. For anyone considering this experiment, remember, the first 3 days are the hardest. Benefits begin appearing by day 4. Full adjustment takes about a week. The future of productivity, in our increasingly caffeinated world, understanding your body's natural energy patterns becomes crucial. While coffee isn't inherently bad, relying on it daily can mask important signals your body is trying to send. This experiment showed that true productivity isn't about pushing yourself harder through stimulants. It's about working with your body's natural rhythms. Remember, everyone's experience with caffeine is different. While this was my journey, your results may vary. The key is being mindful of how caffeine affects you and making informed decisions about its role in your life. If you're feeling dependent on coffee for daily functioning, Consider trying this experiment. You might discover, as I did, that your best work comes from a place of natural energy rather than artificial stimulation. The choice is yours. Continue masking your natural rhythms with caffeine, or discover what your body is truly capable of on its own. Either way, understanding how caffeine affects you is crucial for optimal performance and well-being.